They say you're a lone wolf because it's easier than understanding you. A lone wolf sounds romantic, mysterious, tragic. It lets them explain your absence without asking deeper questions. But the truth is less poetic and far more deliberate. You're not alone because you were rejected. You're alone because you stopped making yourself available. There was a time when you tried. You showed up. You answered messages. You explained yourself. You gave energy to conversations that went nowhere, and loyalty to people who treated it casually. Slowly, almost quietly, you noticed something most people never do. Access was costing you more than it was giving back. So you changed. Not loudly, not dramatically. You didn't announce a transformation or burn bridges in anger. You simply pulled your attention inward and stopped handing it out for free. And the moment you did, people started mislabeling you. They always do, because when a man doesn't chase connection, they assume he can't find it. When he doesn't speak much, they assume there's nothing inside. When he doesn't react, they assume indifference. What they don't consider is discipline. What they don't recognize is control. Your silence isn't loneliness, it's containment. You're not empty. You're full of plans that don't need validation, thoughts that don't need applause, and direction that doesn't need permission. While others fill every gap with noise, you let space exist. And that space makes people uncomfortable because it forces them to hear themselves. That's why they talk about you when you're not there. Availability has become a reflex in this world. Everyone is reachable. Everyone is responding. Everyone is performing closeness in real time. So when someone chooses not to participate, it feels like a disruption. Your absence isn't just noticed, it's questioned. Not because you matter less, but because you matter differently. You don't move through life hunting for attention. You allocate your time with intention. You don't argue to be understood or linger where respect is optional. When something feels misaligned, you don't negotiate with it. You step away, calmly, completely. That calm is what confuses them most. There's a moment you reach that many men feel but never act on. A moment when conversations felt recycled, when validation felt cheap, when explaining yourself felt exhausting. Most men ignore that signal and keep performing for approval. You didn't. You listened. And in listening, you crossed a line that can't be uncrossed. You stopped proving. You started preserving. That's why people remember you in fragments. Not because you were loud, but because you were restrained. Not because you stayed, but because you left without drama. The mind holds on to what it couldn't fully access, and your self-control left an imprint deeper than constant presence ever could. This isn't isolation. Isolation is a wound. What you're doing is architecture. You didn't disappear. You repositioned yourself somewhere fewer people can reach, but where everything you build lasts longer. You don't need to announce it. The right ones feel it immediately. So no, you're not a lone wolf wandering without direction. You're unavailable because your time has weight, your presence has cost, and your focus has a destination. And not everyone gets access to something that refuses to be diluted. Sometimes the strongest statement you can make is simply not being available.